Hey, how's it going? Today I'm going to be talking about aquaponics and what that is. Aquaponics is a sustainable agriculture system that combines aquaculture, the cultivation of fish or other aquatic animals, with hydroponics, the cultivation of plants in water. It is a closed loop system that uses the waste produced by fish to provide nutrients to the plants, and in turn, the plants help purify the water for the fish. This integrated approach to farming has several benefits. So ideally, these two cultures should function together, right? So ideally, this is how many uh, tribes a long time ago. This is how they did it, right? So then cultivating plants. So there, I'd have done a lot of research to understand the subject, right? So it used to be like that, but over time things evolved, and we as an society have discovered a lot of inventions how we can potentially uh, uh, find ways to subsidized need for nutrition for plants to grow. So over time we discovered that. But until then, a lot of tribes were looking for different ways how they can solve different problems when it comes to nutrition and calories and overall producing of calories. So if anything, let's take a look at this system. Water efficiency. Aquaponics use significantly less water than traditional soil-based aquaculture because it recirculates water in the system. The water is only lost throughout evaporation and transportation by the plants. So there was some studies done. Depending on a lot of factors, it can be up to 95%. So large percentage of water could be recirculated and used again. And potentially, some of the cultures should clean that water. Even plants should clean it while fish is doing its thing, right? So this is potentially how it should work on a paper, if anything. No, not that I know. Nobody have accomplished that on a large scale, but there are a lot of companies who are doing it, and some of the ways how they're doing it, not necessarily within Europe that I know of. Some of the countries up there, like Japan, they're rolling out a lot of interesting work. Nutrient recycling. The waste produced by a fish contains ammonia, which is converted by beneficial bacteria into nitrate. These nitrates serve as neutral fertilizers for plants, providing essential nutrients for their growth. So that's how it potentially should work, right? But again, there's a lot of risks involved as well as potential benefits involved. So it's worth taking a look at those. And if anything, it's overall system and overall process. I have done a lot of research to understand myself. If anything, do your own research and try to understand in more detail if it's something that you would like to do. But there are a lot of people who are doing it this way. Reduce environmental impact. Aquaponics can reduce the environmental impact of agriculture by minimizing soil erosion, reducing the need for chemical fertilizers, and conservation of water. So some of those areas that they would look to solve. Some of those would be soil erosion, or removing soil entirely if they can. Chemical fertilizers, removing those if they can, and as well as saving a lot of water, up to a large percentage of water, right? A different study would show different results, but again, it depends on how the setup, layout, and the system, since it's currently in works, and they're looking for a best way of doing it. Faster growth. Plants in aquaponic systems often grow faster than in soil because of the plants have access to constant supply of nutrients. This is how it should work, right? But it depends, right? If you were to begin, some of the plants who might work differently. So again, it's subject to as well as how those cultures can function to each other, right? So you need to pick very specific species of plants as well as very specific species of fish. Not all the fish prefer it, so it's some of the species of that are very sensitive to even temperature, worth mentioning, as well as growth periods, and as well as so you need to do a balancing act. So what plant works with what fish, as well as what temperature, how fast fish would grow. Some of those fishes can grow from 60 up to 90 days. So it's something, but not necessarily people would prefer to buy that fish again. So so you're doing all this balancing act, which can take many years or so. I don't know if months would be enough to carry out any test for a number of months, but perhaps years. Then balancing, okay, with a plant, with fish, perhaps demand for that kind of fish. So there's a lot of balancing, or perhaps rolling out number of testing facilities that you have access, but then you need to secure finance. Year-round cultivation. Aquaponic systems can be set up indoors or in the greenhouses, allowing you year-round cultivation in controlled environments. Uh, there's a lot of benefits there. How they're looking to solve current problems, as well as rolling out those solution of those problems on a larger scale, and what factors you need to consider. Sustainable protein and vegetables. Aquaponics allows for simultaneous production of both fish or protein with omega-3 and vegetables, as well as perhaps carbohydrates. So depending on what kind of vegetables are we talking about, there are some projects, depending on some of those projects up there, they're growing potatoes. So, so there are some people out there who are doing interesting things, not only berries, cherries, or leafy greens, right? Making it more complete and sustainable food production system. So, but again, it's not the some of those vegetables or carbohydrates, whatever you prefer to grow, how they're gonna react with particular culture that you or fish or what case might be, and how you're gonna produce those, making it cost-effective way of doing things. Educational and hobby use. Aquaponics is also used by educational purposes and by hobbyists interested in sustainable farming and gardening. I have seen a number of those, but I guess if anything, within this channel, I prefer to cover it on a large scale business and how to make it profitable, as well as how cultivating different or methods or systems can potentially bring a lot of value to large groups of people. Where that's where I see benefits, as well as someone doing it for, I guess, for a hobby. I have seen some of the people out there where they patenting different ways of cultivating and growing in vertical systems, so nobody else can do it. So they're doing for educational and hobby, and they preventing from others from perhaps doing similar things or using their work and improving on top of that work. So there's a lot of incentives there as well. I don't know, there's people, if they can, they're doing a lot of interesting things now. The key components of aquaponic systems include fish tank, a grow bed where the plants are cultivated, a water circulation system, beneficial bacteria that covers fish waste into plant nutrients. Common fish species used in aquaponic systems include tilapia. That's one that I personally believe is not that sensitive to temperature. So and it grows very fast. This particular species, but do your own research to understand this one. All the other ones, based on my research, are very sensitive fishes, right? That would be trout and catfish. While a wider variety of vegetables and herbs can grow in a plant bed. Again, so perhaps concept, finance, and start doing it, right? For people out there who are interested in learning more, I have published a book. In this book, I'm sharing a lot of information with people who would like to learn more about where to begin when starting your own first business. I have published a book with regards to livestock enterprise and how to start this business. Same principles, same concepts might work for different businesses as well, but in this book, I'm focusing on livestock enterprise, and I have shared a lot of information of how to achieve first milestone. That would be working your way from zero to first $10,000, euros, pounds, and how to achieve this milestone. For people out there who are interested perhaps to become more independent, if it's something that you like to, or perhaps more sustainable, grow food for yourself, looking for alternatives of that. You can take a look at this book. Hopefully, if it's something that you are interested in, it might require some of your time, some of your resources, if anything. Hopefully, that would help you to become more sustainable. You can find this book in the description below, as well as Top Retailers has it. Managing water quality and the balancing between fish and plant growth is essential in aquaponics, and system owners must monitor factors like pH, ammonia, and nitrates, and uh, other metrics. So I'm not entirely sure if we'll cover those, but I have seen there's a lot of software solutions for those, how you can potentially measure those and how often you need to do that. I'm not entirely sure if I'll be covering all of those details there, as well as there's nothing about water temperature. So do your own research. I don't want any of your fish to get or animals to be affected with some information that I'm sharing here. But there's a software solutions for that and how you can measure those. If you would start on a smaller scale, if it's something that you're interested, there's a lot of how to do it videos up there online if you are interested to ensure a healthy and overall healthy and productive systems. Overall, aquaponics is an innovative and sustainable approach to agriculture that has gained popularity due to its potential for efficient food production with minimal environmental impact. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.